Hey, welcome to OddsJam TV. Randall, Mike, Bob, maybe Steve. We're here to make your sports and betting entertaining. We're brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. And it's Bob and Mike and Randall right now. And I'll tell you
And
what,
Steve,
and Steve.
He's
Steve made
here.
it in. Way to go, bro. All
what's
right,
up?
we're excited. All four of us are here. So that means I get to recap your week from last week. We bet on all six wild card matchup games, and I was 3-3. Mike took the lead at 4-2. Randall at 2-4, and Steve, you pulled up the rear on last week. I'm sorry, 1-5, but hey, stuff happens.
Player props though. My player props were good.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And by the way, guys, I would like each one of you, as we do the picks, let's all pick an anytime touchdown score. Let's just do it,
Okay.
just for each game. And it doesn't matter who it is. But I'm excited to be here. I hope you guys are excited. And don't forget, go to oddsjam.com, and we have some other links. By the way, you can also comment after this video has been posted, too, if you want to. So let's start off with the Cincinnati at Tennessee matchup, with Tennessee minus 3.5, and the over under is 47.5. Now, I know I was talking about taking that over last week. I never did bet it because I chickened out. But as much as I don't like Tennessee, and I am not a Ryan Tannehill fan, I just cannot pull the trigger on Cincinnati in this game. It's at home with Derrick Henry coming back, although remember, Derrick Henry is a slow starter when it comes out to the season. He's been out for a while. You may not be getting a mid-season Derrick Henry, but I got to tell you guys, I don't see any way that Cincinnati is going to win this game. I'm taking Tennessee minus the 3.5. And Mike, you're up next.
Yeah, Bob, I'm high on Tennessee, and the reason why is I think people have stopped paying attention to this team because at one time it looked like, well, Kansas City's probably going to get the 1 seed. Tennessee loses Derrick Henry. Who cares about them? They're gone. Well, they ended up getting the 1 seed, and now here they are. They're 8-0 against the spread when they've had 8 days or more to prepare for a game. Under Mike Vrabel. I mean, what that tells me is the continuity of this team and the head coaching ability of Mike Vrabel is elite. And I think Tennessee is an all-around better football team than Tennessee. You look at the red zone scoring touchdowns, Bob, 60-something% for Tennessee. I mean, when they get in the red zone, they're going to put the ball in the end zone. They're amongst the best, and you're getting Derrick Henry back. Julio Jones is going to be a presence in the red zone. I know he's struggled all year, but I think he's going to be a presence because all the attention is going to be on A.J. Brown and how well he's been playing because he's obviously back and ready to roll. And I think Julio Jones is going to see some targets and have a good game.
All right, so you're picking Tennessee.
Also, Bob, don't forget Cincinnati's defense is banged up right now. That worries me a little bit. Derek Carr was able to throw for over 300 yards. Josh Jacobs was able to run for 80-plus yards. I think Tennessee's got this, man.
Okay, Tennessee minus 3.5 for Mike. Steve, it's on to you. I'm ready to hear your pick, buddy.
Love it. I'm on board. Titans all day. Yeah, for everything you guys said. I mean, Vrabel as a head coach, off a bye, 4-0. He's won an average of 20 points. Yeah, I mean, the Bengals, good on them. You know, they barely managed to cover last week. Very lucky there, in my opinion. Tennessee at home, off a bye. Bengals, banged up defensive line. Titans will run all over them. I think Titans cover this easily. Cheapest price of the week. I love it. Titans minus 3.5.
Now, as we go to Randall is going to try to see if he can come up with some positive EV plays for this game, if there are any there. Randall, who you got? No pressure on you, though, by the way. I'm beating you right now.
Well, I just want to point out that last week we all agreed on the Eagles, and they got their ass kicked. And
right,
I like the Titans, so take that for what it's worth. Maybe another 0-4, another 0 for consensus. But yeah, I mean, I like Tennessee in this game. Just kind of looking through here on the player props. Joe Mixon, over 60.5 rushing yards, plus 105 at Caesars has some value. Titans on the money line, actually, in the first half is a plus EV play, minus 157 over there at Barstool. Joe Burrow over under rushing yards 8.5. The under 8.5 has some value on Caesars, plus 105. Continuing just to look through here and see if anything stands out. Julio Jones, we mentioned him, over 3.5 receptions, minus 108 on FanDuel. There's some value there.
Okay.
Let me get back here.
I like that one.
Yeah, I think I like that one as well. And then the highest right now, as far as expected value goes, is Tyler Boyd, over 4.5 catches, plus 150 on Caesars. So that's that's a play that I think could have some value. It's plus 119 on Pinnacle. I do also want to point out the Titans on the money line over at Pinnacle, sharpest book in the world, minus 190. DraftKings minus 180. Bookmaker, another very, very sharp book, minus 187. So I think there's some value there on the money line. I mean, it's definitely a steep price to pay. But there is some value there. It's not much expected value, but definitely worth pointing out. And I assume, Bob, you're heading to the anytime touchdown scores.
I'm going there right now. Can I give you mine? I'm
going to get us started. All right.
All right, you get it started.
So, I mean, Henry, I think, is the obvious choice. Minus 190, though. DraftKings has a promo going for the player prop touchdown. It doesn't appear that I have that for some reason, but I've heard from several people. So I'll put a video out later. We'll put together a parlay for that. Henry will definitely be in it. But as far as some value goes, and just looking for a guy to score a touchdown, kind of off the radar, Geoff Swaim plus 500. Like him in this game to potentially see a red zone touchdown.
Real quick, DraftKings also has a plus 1,000 boost for any offensive lineman to score a touchdown in these 4 games. That's also out there.
Yeah, but I want to point out.
What's the odds of that now?
What's that?
What are the odds on that? What are the odds
10
on
to 1.
that?
10 to 1. It's boosted from 8 to 1, but you missed the boat last week. I mean, it happened twice. FanDuel was 20 to 1. I'm kicking myself for not betting that actually last week. I mean, you see it every year in the playoffs. You get some trickery. I mean, I guess there's value at 10 to 1. It was plus 800, but the tricks are kind of out of the bag, and I'm not sure they'll be able to pull that over this weekend.
The parlay is it's 4. You got to pick a anytime touchdown scorer for every game. So we're doing it here right now on DraftKings. I'm taking Joe Mixon. Mike, who you got?
You know what? Crazy as this may sound, I think Julio Jones is going to see a touchdown in this game.
Steve, who you got?
I'll take Henry for sure.
Okay. All right. All right.
I just want to point out, Bob.
If not Henry,
Joe Burrow has been sacked the most times in the NFL. So that's a big worry, I think.
I agree. Let's move on to the next game. We got to go. We got to be on a roll here. San Francisco at Green Bay. Green Bay minus 5.5. Over under 47. You know what? Green Bay has had trouble with San Francisco in the playoffs. I already know what I'm going to hear from Randall.
On, Bob. We've already
talked about this. I know, but I'm taking San Francisco. I'm taking the 5.5 points. I do not believe that Green Bay is going to cover. I'm taking San Francisco. They're going to get to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' toe is going to get even more swollen up. And I'm taking Devontae Adams as my anytime touchdown scorer. There you go, baby. How can you beat that? Mike, what do you got?
Bob, Green Bay's 8-0 at home this year, all right? Nobody's beat them at home. And look, I understand that San Francisco has had historically some success, especially of recent years, against Green Bay. I mean, I'm into that kind of stuff too. However, when you look at this particular season, there is just no way that San Francisco is going to be able to go into Green Bay and win this game. They're 7-1 against the spread at home this year. I mean, San Francisco is not going into Lambeau Field and even covering this game. I think Green Bay is going to cover as well as win this game, obviously. So, I mean,
Who's your anytime touchdown score, Mike?
Your chance to jump on San Francisco was last week. You missed the boat. That ship has already sailed, buddy.
Hey,
it's sailed. It's gone.
This is not time to, dump on Bob, okay? Who's your anytime touchdown scorer, big guy?
I love Devontae Adams, obviously. Okay. I love Devontae Adams. Oh, and by the way, 12-5 against the spread for the year for Green Bay, Bob. So, again, the ship sailed for San Francisco back to the Bay Area a long time ago.
Okay. Well, I left my heart in San Francisco, All right, Steve, what about you, buddy?
Mike's got it on the point this week, man. I totally agree. Yeah, this is my favorite pick of the week. Like you said, I mean, Packers are 8-0 at home. Someone went against the spread. Niners, whatever. They beat a Dallas team that sucked. Dallas, whatever. They tricked us last week. I mean, honestly, like the playoffs is usually as simple as take the team who's going to win and the spread takes care of itself. Last week, I way overthought it. This week, I'm not. So Green Bay wins, and you know what? The 5.5-point spread, it'll find a way to take care of itself. Packers.
By the way, I do not think San Francisco will win. I think that they're gonna the plus 5.5 is the bet. All right, Randall, your turn. What do you got for me?
I'm going Green Bay, Bob. You're on your own in this one.
Good.
I'm going Green Bay minus 9.5 plus 160. This is a burial.
Yeah, I like that.
San Francisco off the win against Dallas. Everybody loves Dallas. Everybody thinks Dallas is this great team. The line to me speaks for itself. I mean, very, very popular team in Dallas for people to bet. And, I think the people who took Dallas last week are now eager to jump on San Francisco this week. You see it every week. I've done it before as well, where you fade a team and bet a team the next week, and it just never works out. So I like Green Bay here. Definitely probably a little biased with my future that I have on them. Looking at some plus EV plays for those of you that are curious about some that are out there today. Juwan Jennings under 2.5 receptions, minus 120 over on Caesars has some value. Jimmy G, it looks like over 31.5 passing attempts, plus 120. Love that play. 49ers are going to be getting their ass kicked for most of the game, so they're going to have to throw the ball. Deebo Samuel looks like under 4.5 receptions, plus 104 on FanDuel. And that's it for this particular game. When you compare the odds with some of the other books as far as money line goes, Pinnacle has the Packers minus 230, bookmakers all the way up to 240. Every other book's pretty well in line with that at minus 240. I'm not suggesting a play on that money line, but just looking and comparing the odds as far as the point spread goes, pretty well across the board. I mean, 5.5 is the consensus at just about every book that I'm looking at right now on OddsJam. So,
and you're going 9.5.
I'm going 9.5. Let me see though what the best line is. I want to make sure we get the best value here. Yeah, minus 9.5 plus 160 on DraftKings is the best value that I've got out there right now for me. And
I need an anytime touchdown score for you and Steve.
Anytime touchdown score, I'm going with everybody's going to take Devontae Adams minus 135. Give me Aaron Jones even money plus 100.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, looking on the positive EV page, there's one Aaron Jones on the over under 48.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I see that one now. Little lower expected value, but yeah, the over has some value. On that particular bet. Yeah, I like that. As I said, Green Bay is going to be rolling, so get that running game going.
Steve, anytime touchdown score.
The man has scored the first touchdown in back-to-back games. Sprinkle a little bit on first down touchdown score, but Alan the Lazard. I'll take him. What is he? Plus 175.
Lazard.
That's the Lizard.
Yeah, the Lizard. Good job there. All right, we got the Lizard in here. All right. Let's move on to the LA team that's in the playoffs. at Tampa Bay with the GOAT, okay? And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, why in the heck would you even think about betting against the GOAT, okay? I mean,
Well, we did last week, Bob.
He's the greatest of all time, guys, okay?
Yeah.
And you guys know that, and I know that, all right? And
Wow,
it's an inside joke, folks. It's an inside joke, trust me. So Tom Brady's going to dink, and he's going to dunk, and then he dink, and then he's going to dunk, and then probably dink and dunk again. And Tampa Bay is going to dink and dunk their way to the NFC Championship game against Green Bay. So I'm telling you, it's. I don't even know how you could pick this LA team in this situation. I don't care if they've got Aaron Donald and Von Miller. I don't care if Von Miller's happy now. Oh, he just got in football shape. I don't care about none of that. I'm going to tell you right now, when you dink and dunk, you can't get to Tom Brady. So there you go. I'm taking Tampa Bay -2.5. And my anytime touchdown score in this game, I almost went with Tom Brady on this, by the way.
Oh boy. Let's set the record straight though for the people at home, Bob, that you think Kurt Warner is a better quarterback than Tom Brady, folks. If you're tuning in, let me
better thrower of the football. Actually throwing the football, okay?
At Bob Lagrasso, at Bob Lagrasso on Twitter. You guys tuning in, go light this clown up. Let him know Tom Brady better than Kurt Warner.
Really?
Tweet at him. What's that?
Where's the respect? You're calling me a clown? Have you looked?
Oh, yeah, you are. I mean, Bob.
Hey, let's not get off track here. We only got so much time, and you guys are going to belabor the point.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, Mike, who you got?
I mean, Tampa Bay, no doubt. And let's point out that the Rams just played Monday night, right? And that, how is that going to affect them? I think it will. And guess what? The Buccaneers are 6-1 against the spread with a rest advantage. So there you have it again. More reasons to jump on Tom Brady and the GOAT. There's always something that Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, whether he's at New England, Tampa Bay, there's some edge somewhere. And it just so happens it's the rest advantage. Well, for the first time in playoff history, we had a Monday night playoff game. Oddly enough, Tampa Bay is unstoppable with a rest advantage. And again, I like the fact that the Rams have gotten the running game going, Cam Akers back, but it ends right now. And Leonard Fournette, your boy, Bob, Leonard Fournette, remember the guy that was going to carry you to a fantasy championship win?
Yes, I remember that.
Guess what? He's back now.
Yeah, I know. Too little, too late. Who you got for an anytime touchdown score, Mike?
Well, I'm hoping Fournette's back. So if he's back, I got to go with Leonard Fournette. I think he gets the end zone. Rams can't stop the run.
And I didn't give you mine. Mine is Cooper Kupp. All right, Steve. I'm guessing you're agreeing with Mike again.
Mike's going in front of me. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, first of all, don't take too much away from last week. That may have been one of my worst bets of all time. There's a place for the little man in the NFL, but it's not behind the big man, right? Kyler Murray, god awful. Don't give that game any credence. They're still the Lambs. And if you look at the last two times they played the Bucs, they beat them during the season. They beat them last year. But everything Mike said. I mean, the Bucs are rolling at home. The last 7 games, they've won by an average of 20 points a game. It's the GOAT. They're not going to lose. The Rams secondary is all banged up. They had to bring in Eric Weddle out of retirement. Literally. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We saw it last week. It doesn't matter who Brady has. It's Brady. He has Gronk. He has Evans. And then whoever else is there is good enough. He'll find a way to get him the ball. Bucs win this game easily. I'll take the alternate line too. Give me -10, whatever that is.
And give me an anytime touchdown score.
I'm gonna steal who I think Randall's gonna take. I'll take Brady. Give me Brady.
Okay. Cameron Brate.
That's my guy too. Cameron Brate +450.
We didn't even talk about it. Somehow I knew it though. No.
So, I mean, gosh, I hate this Rams team. As you all know, took them last week in hopes that Arizona would beat them. I'm going to take them again this week in hopes that Tampa Bay beats them. But I do want to point out that, Tampa Bay, They hosted the Super Bowl last year, and I think that, they were able to get there. I understand teams host the Super Bowl every year. Some make the playoffs, some don't. But I think this Rams team, I think it's worth pointing out that they could be playing at home for the Super Bowl. And, I would love nothing more than for that weak team to go into Green Bay next week for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers heading back home, or the Rams hosting. So in hopes that the Rams do lose, because I do hate this team. I think it's the softest team in the NFL. Give me the Rams +3.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm only giving you 2.5. Sorry, buddy.
Okay. You know what? Give me Rams.
3 for me.
Give me Rams money line then, Bob.
Where's the 2.5?
No plus EV plays. No plus EV plays for this game currently. I think we're a little too far out with the game being on Sunday.
Right.
Not a lot out there as far as lines go. Again, not a lot of value out there either from a line perspective. So watch that game as more money comes in. The markets continue to move. You might see something pop up there.
All right, we're going to roll through this. Buffalo at KC -2, over under 54. This is a matchup of two quarterbacks. Is this right? That both threw 5 touchdown passes last week. Is that correct? I think that's right. So who do you pick in this game? Who do you pick? Yeah, pick the under. Who do you pick in this game? Oh, I'm riding the Chiefs all the way to the Super Bowl. Guys are going to be the champs. I don't even know why you guys are even here making any predictions on games when I've got the winner right here. It's here. And the 3 of you last week told me that Kansas City was going to lose anyway.
No, the other 2 didn't. I did.
You guys don't know what you're talking about. I do. Kansas City -2. Actually, it's probably going to be more like Kansas City -7, to be honest with you. It's probably going to be a 2-touchdown win for the Chiefs. And the only thing I could say is,
That's Florida State.
Florida State, Bob, you're wrong.
My anytime touchdown scorer is Kelsey. Mike, who you got?
Well, I just want to point out that as I'm listening to you ramble about an absolutely terrible prediction going with Kansas City here, you look a lot like Garth from Wayne's World with your glasses, man. So, they're all fogged up and stuff looking. So I just wanted to point that out.
Dude.
Nah, you don't want to do that. Look, both of these offenses rolled their first playoff game. So coming into this game, we're probably expecting a super high-scoring game. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a more even game. I think that the fact that Buffalo has got Devin Singletary involved in the running game and looking like a really, really good running back is going to be key for keeping Mahomes on the sidelines, Buffalo going down the field and taking some, time off the clock. And the fact that Buffalo, when they do get into the red zone, as far as scoring touchdowns, they're amongst the best as well. So we know when they get down in the red zone, there's a high percentage chance they're going to put the ball in the end zone. They've just got to eat up some clock and put the ball in the end zone like they've been doing and keeping Mahomes on the sidelines enough. And I think Buffalo will win this game. I do not like Kansas City. There's a reason I picked them in our survivor pool last week because there was no doubt they were going to beat Pittsburgh. And after that, none of us want anything to do with your Kansas City Chiefs, Bob.
All right. Who's your anytime touchdown scorer quickly?
I'm going with Knox.
Okay. You got it. Steve, you're up. I guess you're on same thing with Mike, huh?
I mean, how can you possibly pick the Chiefs, right? I mean, the Bills scored 7 times in a row. No one has ever done that in NFL history. I mean, let's not forget the Chiefs scored 6 times in a row one day after, but that's getting no talk. No, this is a very tough game to pick, but I mean, for me, I can't go against KC. All the money's coming in on the Bills. This line's actually down to 1.5 in most books, but look at last week. Every team that got steamed lost and got their ass kicked, right? For whatever reason this year in the NFL, CLB doesn't mean much. If anything, it would have been the opposite side, especially when it came to the Eagles. Randall and I both said once that game closed, Philly +7, they were dead. And sure enough, yeah, I mean, for here, like my big thing is, Josh Allen played about as perfect of a game as he could have played. And in his career, he has huge peaks and huge valleys. And I just think that, as good as he played last week, he's still inconsistent. I think he's going to come back down to earth. The Chiefs are still the best team in the league, I think, outside of Green Bay. So I'll take them on the money line. It's a bargain. It's down to minus 120. I mean, give me
on the money line.
Give me the Chiefs minus 120. I mean, just 10 cents extra. I'll take
who's your anytime?
Mahomes. And I'll take over rushing yards too, which has hit, I think, 5 straight playoff games.
Okay. All right. Cool. Randall, probably not much in the positive EV yet on this game since it's Sunday.
No, nothing to report there. I'm going to be on the Chiefs as well in this game. I think that they get it done. Comparing the books here on OddsJam with our platinum plan, you've got Pinnacle at minus 127 on the Chiefs, DraftKings minus 125. Steve, I know, is in a different state than I am, so he's probably catching 120 from another book. But just the books I'm looking at here,
Bet online.
So Bookmaker has the Chiefs all the way up to minus 135, and it's worth pointing out that Bookmaker is also giving you the best take back on the Bills at plus 115, which to me is very telling. They're the highest out there when it comes to this game on the money line. Chiefs minus 135. So I'm going to be on the Chiefs money line here, and I'm going to go with Byron Pringle as an anytime touchdown scorer. He's been red hot.
Love it.
Been a favorite target here these last few weeks down the stretch to close out the season. So Pringle plus 200, take a shot in the dark there. And it looks like Mahomes, Steve mentioned, plus 350. So yeah, that's my pick, going with the Chiefs.
All right. So there you have it, folks. That's the divisional picks. All right. Now we've got the survivor pool going on. And I know Mike and Steve picked KC. I think you guys really messed yourselves up by doing that last week. I hate to tell you. This week, it's my turn, and you guys are probably going to be shocked at this one. I'm taking Tampa Bay. Oh, yeah, I said it, and I meant it. They're not going to the Super Bowl. Green Bay is going to the Super Bowl, even though they will not cover against the Niners.
I'm going with you, Bob. I'm taking Tampa Bay as well. I don't like the Rams, and I love this matchup for Brady. Tampa Bay can't stop the run. I hope Fournette comes back and has a big game. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
Okay, Steve.
I'm going to have to go with the Titans and hope that the Chiefs don't win and the Titans, because then I won't have a team left in the Super Bowl. But
right.
Yeah.
Then you're out. And then you got to pay all 3 of our charities if you do that, by the way.
Yeah, so there was some good strategy involved here. I'll take the Titans here. I'll take the Titans.
All right. Randall, who you got?
I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs, and then when the Chiefs play the Titans next week, I'll be taking the Titans, and then I'll claim victory in the Super Bowl with Green Bay, Bob, and you can donate to my back pocket.
Okay.
That's my charity.
Really? Is that your charity, your back pocket? All right.
Hey, I'm hoping as I said, Tennessee, Green Bay in the Super Bowl, baby. Let's do it. Let's make that happen.
All right. Look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this OddsJam TV, by the way, and that's what we're calling this every single week. The schedule may vary depending on what we're going to be up against in our own personal lives and what have you. But we are going to add some college basketball and NBA down the road. And Mike and I, since we're confident in this, and there are a lot of positive EV plays on this particular sport, we're going to be doing some NHL too. We won't, I promise you, we won't get crazy with it, okay? But there are a lot of over-unders in the NHL that you can get to. So OddsJam TV is going to be here week in and week out. The 4 of us are going to be doing it. You guys have done a great job today. My applause to all of you. Thank you for all dumping on me. I really appreciate that. OddsJam TV every week. Don't forget, go to oddsjam.com. And if you like this video, like it, comment, all that kind of stuff on YouTube. Subscribe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll give one bonus play before I go. People love to parlay my picks on Twitter. all 4 favorites: Titans, Chiefs, Packers, Bucks, Cyril Gain in the UFC. That's 10-1, baby. I'm putting $1,000 on it with a free bet in Indiana. Tail me. Let's cash out.
Hey, there's my UFC guy. I told you he'd know. I just boosted him on UFC, 27% boost. I'm feeling good now.
I've seen the videos. He's hitting them UFCs, baby. Steve's the man. They'll have to start calling it. They'll have to start calling it UF Steve.
All right. That ends OddsJam TV for this week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Go Chiefs.